If you're messy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're messy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're messy and you know it, then your likes and shares will show it. If you're messy and you know it, clap your opera gloved hands. Barbara McKay, thank you so much for being the first one here. Judy Mustasid, thank you for being here. Connie Balmer, Lydia Washington, Barbara McKay, Fancy, Church Nelly, let's see, Sonia Johnson, Mary H. Well, anyway, I got so much stuff to cover. I'm just going to scroll. Hi, Mackenzie. I'm going to scroll all the way down, making sure I didn't miss any super chats or super stickers. And then we better get this party started. Hey, Ronnie, I see you're here. Susie Q, Janice Goodrich. Okay. All right. So Karina Rojas, that's the last one I see here. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Mo Shannon. All right, Bright Eyes PB&J. So today was the Bafta Awards, right? There was no applause for Will and Kate. And of course, the usual desperation for anything about Harry and Meghan, in particular, the Duchess of Sussex. They want to know where she is, what she's doing. Is she planning some type of big comeback? I don't understand what the fuss is about. As squatties, we already know that from time to time, she got some business to take care of that is not a public affair. And they're running out of stuff to talk about. Meanwhile, because it is the keening season, there is an endless supply of material for me. There seems to be an endless supply of material thanks to bed knobs and broomsticks. So, hi, Marlene Williams. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex, and happy Sunday to you. Wow, it's already the 19th of February. And of course, this is Black History Month. So I hope you guys are doing a lot of learning and sharing about some of the accomplishments of the African American community here in the United States of America, right? That is what Black History Month is all about. Now, I think for Britain, Black History Month is in October, but for us, it is February, the shortest month of the year, but don't get me started. But yeah, so anyway, happy Black History Month. Now, let's go on here. Hi, Black Queen. Just a note, you guys, I have been praying about the the comfort and the love and everything for Jimmy Carter. And I just want to remind you guys, because as the days go by, I have been reminded about things that had kind of slipped my mind about the former president, including in 1979, President Carter had solar panels installed at the White House. These were later laughed at, derided, and removed by officials of the Reagan administration. Now, if the solar technology would have been able to remain at the White House, if they could have swapped out for the newer, more efficient technology, just think how much further the advancements in renewable energy would be today. And people ask me, why don't you like Ronald Reagan? Hello. It was pretty much the same as the other Screen Actor Guild member, divorced, the only president that had ever been divorced before Ronald Reagan was of course, the Orange Menace. Nothing about divorce, of course. I'm just saying that they had a lot in common. And stupid stuff like this was some of those things that they have in common. If it ain't broke, break it. Now, as you guys know, we went through an energy crisis back in the 1970s. And rather than feeling sorry for himself or being in denial, of course, the buck stops at the White House. And Jimmy Carter was trying to be proactive and, do something about it. He heard about this renewable energy, but it took Ronald Wilson Reagan, the three sixes president, to rip it out after having a good laugh about it. So, oh boy. Anyway, so those are, just some of the things that you'll be hearing about Jimmy Carter in days to come. All right. So as we progress here, all right. Once again, the eerily silent entrance of Will and Kate at the Bafta Awards. If you haven't seen it, it was just like years past. They walked in, and I mean to tell you, you can hear every breath, every sigh, every planting of a foot, everything you could hear. And of course, dead silence. Now, this was actually from 2019, but the reason why I'm showing you the images from 2019 is because, well, Kate decided to try to make people feel as though she's in touch with the environment, because after all, she's married to the creator of Earthflop. Well, she added some gloves and she added some earrings from some discount boutique, which they just won't stop talking about. But yeah, so she reworked and what am I saying? Somebody reworked and repurposed her McQueen dress. And if you thought it was, kind of the first time, well, you'll see in just a second how she has managed to repurpose it. Good on her for doing that. But it was pretty bad the first time around. But like I said, they walked in and there was silence. I don't know why. It's rather odd to me that the president of the BAFTA Award, the honorary president or president of the BAFTA Award, enters this hall where he should be regaled as a hero for whatever reason. And yet it was so quiet, you can hear a rat piss on cotton. It was so quiet, you can hear the building settling. It was like a big fat nothing burger. I was embarrassed for them. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Rick, and thank you as always for watching Royal Sussex. So as they entered, it brought to mind the terracotta warriors of China, those lifelike images that were found buried deep in the earth from however many thousands of years ago. And one by one, they have been brought back to their original appearance, very much, very much consistent with the entrance of Will and Kate at the BAFTA Awards. I don't see the difference. Listen and see if you can hear any difference. Okay, Will and Kate BAFTA Awards. All right, now listen to this one. This is the terracotta warriors that they found in China. See what I mean? Dead silence. And so there was actually some comments. I would have felt so awkward if everyone went quiet when I walked into a room like that. And then another person said, absolutely, I'd be cringing to high heaven and be praying to get to my seat quickly and get all the eyes off of me. You can actually hear Williams saying, sit down quickly. when they get to their seats. Although I have to say, hasn't Kate struck gold? Ha 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 ha. And then another person said, and can you hear Kate say, it's so quiet? Right before William said that. And then another comment was, what will be awkward is when these royals have to face the Lord Jesus Christ on Judgment Day. Well, that goes without saying, but that last response was rather biblical, but I do agree that will be a lot of explaining to do. Bafta, Barbie, and Ken flop again. Exactly. And of course, oh, by the way, I wanted to show you. If you guys remember that cover, Catherine the Great from the Tatler, well, that is the dress that she repurposed from 2019. So here is the updated dress. On the left, you can see the Prince William and Kate Middleton had the most awkward entrance at the BAFTA Awards. That was 2019, right? 2019. And then over here on the left side, I'm sorry, in the middle, it says Will and Kate bow out the BAFTA Awards. Okay, so 2022, they didn't show up at all. And then on the right side, oh gosh, what year was that when she wore that gold thing? I don't recall. But then the new photo is the one at the bottom with the black gloves. So as you can see, that frilly thing over her shoulder has been done away with because at first it was more like this poofy stuff. So now it is properly laying down over her shoulder. And then she teamed it up with some black gloves and some 18-pound earrings and a clutch. And then William, I think they said that was a Tom Ford blazer he has on. But the other thing about this is, all right, so maybe they're too dignified to applaud inside the hall, right? Well, when they were walking toward the place, there was no noise. There was nothing. Notice the people are simply holding their phones up. There wasn't any whooping and hollering or anything like that. There was no applause. It was, well, you could see from that crap-eaten grin he has on his face, it was extremely, extremely awkward. Let's see here. Why not wear a black satin or a velvet dress to go with her husband's jacket? Well, she had to wear white because the last time Megyn was out in something formal, she wore something white. So this is part of Kate's revenge tour. So yeah, Kate is on a revenge tour, according to the tabloids. To be fair, according to the tabloids, if you guys recall, yesterday I mentioned Kate Middleton taking her revenge on Meghan Markle with major change, says expert. Speaking on the royal beat, royal biographer Duncan Larcombe says that the hire of a new private secretary for Kate Middleton comes as revenge against her sister-in-law, Meghan Markle. So this is Kate taking revenge with the outfits that she's wearing. Since she seems to be rather nonverbal most days, her verbal skills seem to be impaired for some reason. And since she's mostly nonverbal and she's reduced to a lot of tics and hand gestures, her chosen mode of communication is to wear yet another lifeless frock from the back of her closet or something. I don't know. Let's see here. Why is he president again? What has he done? That's a good question, Legs. Exactly what has he done? This is just one of those honorary things, I suspect. But whatever the reason that he has that particular role, last year he couldn't even be bothered going. And I thought for sure that the reason why they weren't going is because, again, they were met with silence when they arrived. So I thought, well, okay, this happened, what, 2-3 years in a row? Maybe they got the message. Well, apparently they decided that part of this new rollout tour, this new keening that they're on, that they should show up at every possible thing to encourage people to fall in love with them. So here you can see, good for Prince William for defending his wife by not attending the BAFTAs tonight. because of the awful remarks made about her by a Bafta member. Now, I don't recall what that remark was, but the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge entrance was announced by an MC, and the crowd rose to greet the couple as they entered the room, according to a video shared by Royal Family Channel above. But aside from the snapping of photographer cameras, the venue was dead quiet as the duo walked down the stairs and approached their seats in front row. And I'm telling you guys, I don't know how this is supposed to go, but that was 2019. Nothing has changed. They walk in, people just kind of look, and then that's it. Aside from that, it's just, as I said, it's like those terracotta warriors. You got a crowd staring staring into space while Kate takes revenge on her sister-in-law by wearing the dress from 2019. So they okay, and this, all right, that was 2020. So 2020, let me think, 2020 February, this was before everything was shut down, I think. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is before everything was shut down because of the pandemic, so they could still have the big maskless crowds at the BAFTA awards, and you could see William with that rather bizarre look on his face because, again, they walked in 2019, 2020, nothing. So read the room. Why are you there? Why are you there with this crowd of artists that have worked hard for that position? Is it any wonder? You would think that someone in a crowd that big, you would think someone would start to. Am I missing something? Am I missing something that collectively no one in the room says anything? They stand up and they look. And if you look in the background there, you can kind of see not everybody is actually looking at them. Look at the guy on the left in the tuxedo. I have no idea who that is, but I'm being too embarrassed. What is the point? What is the point? Why are you there? What purpose do you serve? So you came in and you're expecting everyone to do what? I still don't get the point of this. It's not like he does anything. But then again, you could say the same thing about Charles. At least, well, okay, to be fair, Charles had his Prince's Trust stuff. But William hasn't done anything. Earth Flop, there wasn't any involvement from, if William would have actually been more proactive with the Earth Flop, I promise you there would have been a much bigger event than that waste of time in Boston where the recipients were not even invited. And because of the murmuring from that, they actually had an event take place later on at Buckingham Palace. And how did they get there? The same way they would have got to the other place. They didn't come in on a freighter. They didn't come in a rowboat. They flew, which is what they could have done that night. I just, if the tabloids would put as much energy into socking it to these two losers as they spend messing with the Sussexes, which, by the way, for that individual who left a message in the comments yesterday that I promptly blocked, I thought she was better than that. How can you? Well, they seem to wonder why. Why do I say the things that I say? Well, I'm just one person. But since Megyn has not made any public appearances lately, and even when she was making public appearances, you got people all over the media that spend their time preoccupied with what Megyn's doing. So I'm fascinated what Bedknobs and Broomsticks is doing. I couldn't even possibly even out the score by myself, but I'm going to try. I'm going to critique every little minute detail, no matter how nonsensical it is, because I fancy myself a royal reporter with absolutely no credentials, just like most of them. And I said what I said. So, she's wearing this Imelda Marcos knockoff in 2020. She comes back again in 2023. Well, anyway, I'll get to that. Bev Smith, thank you so much. Nothing but crickets, just tacky. Absolutely tacky. Thank you so much for that, Bev Smith. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And thank you for being a member, by the way. I really appreciate it. So, as I was saying, you got the people standing back in awe, like, oh, why are they here? Not awe in surprise and glee, but oh, why are they here? Oh man. So Prince Harry and Meghan Markle get a celebrity stamp for the Met Gala with this year's invitation. Now notice the date there, February 19th. And so I don't know why this information was released today while they are, celebrating this supposed to be coup of her entering in that recycled dress. But that's none of my business. What I am thinking about is this right here. They just made an announcement. Someone, I don't know where the information comes from. And apparently there was an invite in 2022 that Meghan turned down, they said. I'm not sure about that. But Prince Harry and Meghan Markle get a celebrity stamp from Met Gala with this year's invitation. So they are invited, but it's on May the 1st, which of course we all know what happens on May the 6th. That's Prince Archie's birthday. And then there's some shindig or something going on in central London that day that involves people dressing up in some medieval what is it? Dinner and joust. Medieval times dinner and joust costumes. Well, there's something like that going on in central London. I don't know the particulars, but I know there's going to be like a lot of gaudy costumes, a golden carriage, and feathers and plumes, and the whole town is going to reek of mothballs. So. Oh, you know what? I just realized I don't have another screen open so I can see what you guys are seeing. Give me just a second to do that. But yeah, so that is what's happening at that. See what you guys are seeing. There we go. All right. So now I got another screen open and I can see what you guys are seeing. So Legs has a comment. Legs says it's their own fault. They want to bask in the adulation of the celebrities that are supposed to worship their feet. The celebrities actually work, and that is the big difference. Those people that are there to celebrate the other actors and other filmmakers and such, and of course they themselves that have worked so hard, they're supposed to be there. William is just there supposedly to bring some kind of cachet to an event that, as an American, let me tell you, we don't need someone like that to make these events possible. We don't need someone like them to make the event. Well, just think about it like this. The biggest award show in the world is, well, in the Western world, I'll just say that, is the Oscars. The Oscars is the biggest. That is the real big one. There's a lot of people right now that don't even know that the Baftas happened today. So no offense to the Baftas, No offense to, the British actors, but that's just the truth. The real, goal is to get that Oscar. So very big difference. Thank you so much for that comment, Legs, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. Bohemian gold, chunky earrings, Black Widow gloves, Greek style. You know what? I just thought about that too, Gail, Anita. Meghan wore gloves at the funeral that were black, and she's wearing this white dress with black gloves. I feel like she's doing that revenge thing. What else? Gold shoes, flat ironed hair. She should have worn her hair up. And let me see, gold shoes. Okay, and girl, pick day struggle. It is a lot going on. It is a lot going on. Gold shoes, white dress, reworked shoulder strap or shoulder, and then of course those bizarrely long black gloves, and okay, and the gold earrings. But you know, she's tacky from day one. She is really tacky. You can buy, you can buy fashion, but taste is something that you're either born with or you're not. And I don't think she's ever had it. Let me see. Alma Andrews says, Baron, they might as well have bowed out this time too. They should be glad they weren't booed. Exactly. Now, I wouldn't expect them to be booed from inside the room, but outside, and that's the thing. I would love to get a good look at the layout of the entrance because you didn't see a lot of people. There weren't a lot of like bystanders or people in the grandstands like you see at the Oscar Awards. But then again, the Oscars is a whole nother level in comparison. Monroe Taylor Classic Movie Channel says William has lied to the public, and the royal rumors are saying, let me be careful with that one. Okay. And royal rumors are saying that Harry William doesn't want him or her at the coronation. Plus, the royal rumor is saying Meghan will not be given a coronation cloth. Coronation cloth. Is that like the red robe that they wear that day, or is that brooch that they pin on with that little piece of fabric, that little swatch of fabric underneath it? I'm guessing it's the coronation robe. But either way, it's just as well because if they want them to stand out, and you know what, if they do go, I would prefer that they don't even sit with the family. I would prefer that they were in some other part of the cathedral or abbey, rather. I would suppose, or should I say, I would prefer that they're in some other part away from the rest of them. And I tell you too, there's even a chance that they could be there and not even be on camera at all. They may be seen at the entrance and then not at all after that. Now that would be an interesting ploy, but that may just very well be the setup. So oh, Church Deli. Uh, one more of those, Church Deli, and I'm going to have to call.
Police! 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 Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police! Help!
I'm going to have to call them for the language, and I'm going to have to call them for Kate's dress. So between the two of y'all, I'm going to let them deal with it. Oh man, nothing like a drama mama, right?
Police! 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 Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police! Help!
I love the way everybody's just like standing around. I mean, they're literally standing there. You would have thought the way they were standing, you would have thought that Kate and William just walked in. That's how they're standing there. They're standing there just like the Cambridges or the Waleses just walked in. Interesting how. Oh man, they are literally standing there like the Waleses just walked in. Oh man. Okay. So, it's time that you put away any worries or calculations that you have regarding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle supposedly falling short of popularity because they just got invited to this year's biggest fashion event, the Met Gala. While this is the first time the couple has been invited, all the countless war of words that Meghan Markle dresses have evoked have been building up to this moment. So I thought they'd been invited before, maybe not. Princess Diana attended the Met Gala in Dior Haute Couture back in 1996. And then there on the right, you can see Meghan Markle and Prince Harry attend the Met Gala for the first time ever this year. So the news has been making the rounds. Again, I can't confirm or deny it because I don't know that it's true, but I should hope so. I should hope so. And by the way, when it comes to revenge dressing, everybody knows that the most revenge that anyone has ever actually taken a notice to is Diana with that black dress she had on that time when Charles was trying to do something on TV. And of course, when Meghan went back for her farewell tour before they stepped back from official royal duty. Okay, so let me take a look at a couple of your comments before I go on to that Invictus stuff. And then we got some more stuff to cover and more of the Bafta award to cover. Oh, believe me, it gets a little dodgier as we go on. Ronnie Vanna says, "Oh, I thought she was wearing white to resemble how bland she was." And Dolores Williams says, "What is? Well, I'm sorry. What is with Kate wearing a white evening gown to each BAFTA, all the colors in the rainbow, and she wears white? No comparison to Duchess Meghan." Yeah, I believe that this time she went out of her way to make sure that she could tick a few boxes. Number one, how nice I repurposed the dress. Number two, I'm so frugal that I went and bought some 18-pound earrings from a discount boutique. And number three, I can get revenge on my sister-in-law because since she likes to wear white, I like to wear white. And well, I guess that's about it for now. But again, I got some more stuff about that. Uh, yeah, the gloves were not needed. No, and again, I think the gloves were probably some kind of thing about Meghan wearing gloves to the Queen's funeral. I truly believe that that's the case. Oh, that's not for me. Let me see. I certainly feel put upon by Kate. Yeah, it's very petty and childish. It really is. Kate needs to take her unrefined, tacky behind and have several seats. And William, I left arm. Oh, okay. So that's the, I know what that is, the Ryan Air. The Ryan Air. If you guys don't get that reference, when that thing came out about the Prince of Pegging, Ryan Air actually posted a picture of a row of plane seats with one arm up in a very awkward, provocative position to make fun of William. Now, they did take it down not long thereafter, but I didn't think that it was actually for real. But when I went to the Ryan Air Twitter account, it was real. It was very real. So if any of you guys doubt that that was a real thing from the airline, trust me when I say this, it was. Unless someone took over their Twitter, the airline was saying to the future king of England, "Up yours, pal." Okay, let me see. William will bankrupt the Duchy of Cornwall in no time. He can't waste money on Kate. He will need for his for his roses. Okay, thank you for that, Baron Mouth Askew. Neither of them are affiliated to the dramatic arts ever. Indeed, so awkward they are clearly trying to step into Meghan's territory. Pitiful. Yeah, it is, I believe, a bit of an act of spite. It is part of this big rollout. They have to play this game in order for people to pay attention to them. They have to act as though, or they probably are, saying and doing things out of spite to the Sussexes. Like when they went to that mental health place that time, and Kate said, "Not everyone is helped by talk therapy." Well, that was very intentional because for a woman of so few words, it seemed like she was able to zero in on something that may possibly be disparaging to Prince Harry. So I would say that that was very deliberate. Yep, indeed. I would say that was very deliberate. And of course, I don't really need to be 100% factual because if I am to operate as a royal reporter, I just, allege that I found a insider or what else is that? A source close to the royal family. So yeah, a source close to the royal family. A source close to the royal family has confirmed that XYZ, right? That's how it's done. You don't have to have all of the information, but you could just kind of do like, oh, who is that woman with more surface area between her hairline and her chin than anyone else on earth? This one. Yeah, you just kind of make it up as you go along. And then you pretend like you're not totally obsessed, even though all the signs of obsession is there, but you pretend like you're not. And then you just go and write the story for the Telegraph. And then you appear on television and you look confused, concerned, outraged. You do all that. And then after that, you return home to Easter Island, where the only place in the world where you truly fit in, Easter Island. Okay, you guys. Okay, so just to talk about a couple of other things for a second here. There you have Colombia. Colombians are actually going to the Invictus Games. So there you can see to the 16 Colombians, WIS participants this Sunday's Gran Fondo Matamoros cycling event. Okay, so there you go. Looks like they're participating in that event. And then, of course, in Nigeria, there's also people over there prepping for the Invictus Games. It's been amazing to see the recovery journey continue for so many What does WIS mean? Is that Invictus something in Nigeria after our last endeavor? So utilizing sports as a tool for recovery, it not only keeps you physically fit, but also fosters a wonderful sense of community. I say amen to that. It does. It fosters a sense of community. Connie Barmer says, honestly, Kate has no style. With so much in that family, she wears clothes made on the moon. Kate, order a costume from Mars. Okay, some of her fashions are reminiscent of Star Trek or Star Wars. I would say wars. Nothing as awful as her clothing could be worn in peacetime. So I would say Star Wars. I believe people are not interested in Kate and Prince of pegging. This, I mean, is because they can feel that there is no love between them. Okay, I'm going to get to that. I promise you, I am going to get to that. Diane Hawkins says, I guess the new PR team wanted to remind us that one shoulder dress is not. Oh, Diane Hawkins, right, right. There is that too. There's another subtle message there because, yeah, remember all the trouble that they caused because Meghan wore a one strap dress. I'm telling you, the Sussex Squad detective agency will always get to the bottom of it. So you got the black gloves, which they made a fuss about that. You got the one shoulder, they made a fuss about that. And why does she always wear white? And they made a fuss about that. All right, that's three of them. That is three of them. Thank you so much, Diane Hawkins. I almost forgot about that one. Uh-oh. I just got a Cash App. Let me see. Thank you, Baron, for being there for Harry and Meghan. You are quite welcome, anonymous person. I shan't name, but thank you very much for the Cash App, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Sunday to you. Okay, good looking out, Diane Hawkins. I totally missed that one, but yeah. It just goes to show that the English Rose is allowed to wear a one-strap dress. But you can't allow a woman of color to wear a one-strap dress, especially if she's of African American descent and she won't confess to being from, what did they say she was from? Watts. Which neighborhood did they say she was from? Was it Inglewood? Anyway, yeah, if she won't confess to having been from another part of LA, then they're going to keep coming after her until she confessed. So, all right. So there we go. We got this little bit of business. No one's interested in Aben Holmes says it's a hard time to be a white man in your 60s. If you're going to keep throwing yourself down a flight of stairs to get attention, allegedly, if you're going to keep opening up your mouth and talking about the Sussexes when they ain't doing nothing to you, it's none of your business where they go and come from, or that they're in the U.S., and even worse, if you keep threatening to throw people over a balcony, then of course nobody's going to pay attention to a 60-year-old white man who bears a striking resemblance to Sharon Osbourne. Of course they won't. No, they don't pay attention to people like that. Stop throwing yourself down a flight of stairs for sympathy or whatever the case may be. Or I don't know if you just, maybe you got some kind of Munchausen's disease or something. But whatever it is, stop doing that and people will take you serious. But as long as you keep flinging yourself down the steps to get attention, then of course nobody's interested in what you have to say. I mean, it's not open season on middle-aged white men or ambiguously male or female men. It's anyone with those rather bizarre cheekbones, nobody is actually interested in what you're doing. No, especially if you keep flailing down the steps with your arms flying to and fro, then of course people are going to be a little, put off with you. So that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. So let me know when you have your spinal fusion surgery and get back to me. Oh, you like that? The Imelda Marcos knockoff? Thank you. Thank you, sister. And I'll be here all week, by the way. Thank you. I'll be here. That's the show, folks. I'll be here all week. Cookies and Cream says when pretzel stick McMumbles, oh, that's a new one, and Sir Pegalot come to terms that that they're dunce, brainless, useless, and clueless. They'll feel better about themselves. Right. Sharing is caring, or is it caring is sharing? Anyway, just be who you are, not who you wish you could be. Alma Andrews, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Sunday to you. Sonia Johnson says, Baron, when has William ever done anything? He darn well lost the Commonwealth, got run out of Boston, and you know the rest of the story. Exactly. He ran up a tab in Boston for 100 and well, actually, we know it was all well north of 200,000. And of course, when he made that trip to the Caribbean, who could take an all expense paid vacation to the Caribbean and then come back with a bill in your pocket for how much was that bill? I think it was 335 million billion pounds dollars. Yeah, so he goes on an all expense paid vacation to the Caribbean. People do that all the time, but not everybody come back losing half of Her Majesty's territory and in debt for a whopping 335 million pounds. As a matter of fact, Trenchman was born out of that travesty.
That's Prince. Trenchtown wants $245 billion. That's what Trenchtown wants. $345 billion. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what Trenchtown wants. Yes. What do you mean?
Oh man, that never gets old. Alma Andrews, thank you so. Oh, did I say that already? I did. Thank you again. Let me see here. Let me scroll. I'm scrolling the wrong direction. Well, I wonder. I'm not 100% sure, but I hope so. I hope so because there's something going on in London on the 6th of May. Some type of I don't know what it is. But there's something going on the 6th of May in London that's going to have everybody, within a 3-block radius looking at it. And of course, if they are invited to the Met Gala, you know what's so genius about this, though? Because they're invited, people are going to be waiting to see, will they or won't they? So unless they flat out say, we're not coming, then well anyway, we'll see. I love it. It's just so oh, that sinister laugh. I love it. Got a new member, Marlene Williams. Thank you so much for becoming a new member of Royal Sussex, and happy Sunday to you. Okay, I need to get to scrolling here because I'm way behind. I know it sounds strange for someone of my size to say I'm a little behind, but I digress. Let me see here. Even I think that's funny. I'm a little behind. Really? Wait, Susie Q, didn't you have a super chat? How far behind am I? Good grief, there's a lot of comments. I'm so sorry I'm missing so many of them. But Susie Q says, hey, Baron and Squatties, did you listen to Lady Sussex today? Oh, my God, the podcast was amazing. It got me choked up. No, I didn't. But you know what? I know that she was on, and I am going to I'm going to get the link for that, and I'll put the link up so that you guys can check it out. What a oh my god! She was on for an hour and a half. And unfortunately, I was prepping and did not get a chance to watch. So I'm gonna put the it's called Meghan Markle, a Cinderella story, is it? But um, the content creator, Lady Sussex, that is the one that is hosting. So I am going to put that here. Thank you so much for that, Susie Q, because I would hate to overlook that because we do want that channel to grow. It is a great Sussex friendly channel. And of course, we can never have too many of those. So bravo to you, Susie Q. Thank you so much for that. Okay, I have pegged it in honor of the newly minted Prince of Wales. Instead of pinning it to the top of the chat, I pegged it to the top of the chat. All right. Thank you, Susie Q. And thank you for being a member. And thank you for and to be fair, Susie Q, you know, you kind of got a soft spot. Sometimes I play one of my videos and you get a little worked up, but I'm I'm going to take your word for it that this one was particularly poignant, and I will check it out. But yeah, I always have to be careful when I play certain videos because Susie Q, she has such a sweet heart. So, okay, thank you, Susie Q. And let me continue here. Boy, lots of comments. All right, so let me dig in for this one because I got a few things to say about her. Okay. So, Megyn Kelly, a woman that was too lousy to make it on the Fox network, a woman who couldn't cut it at Fox. Now, that's a pretty low bar when someone cannot maintain a position, no pun intended, but that's a pretty low bar when someone cannot maintain a position at Fox News because they will hire just about anyone, as evident by her presence at the Fox News network. Well, eventually, somehow, she managed to get run out of there. And so some other network took this provocateur on, NBC, and then she got run out of there. And so now she's found herself on a bunch of lousy, second-rate, clout-chasing talk shows as a panelist, and then she has some kind of thing of her own. Well, she thinks she's going to be the next Joe Rogan or something. But Joe Rogan, you know, not always my favorite person, but at least he's smart. You know what I'm saying? Joe Rogan is at least smart. She doesn't have that going for her. She's just a provocateur. So up there, you can see, let's go from left to right, top to bottom. Megyn Kelly claims any hopes of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle had of becoming the next Barack and Michelle Obama are now dashed after pair were absolutely roasted on the hit TV show South Park. And it just goes on and on and on. You can see she was, let me see, what network is that? Is that, I think that, let me see, which one is that one up there? Okay, yes, Sky News Australia. That's no surprise. Of course, they like her. And then, of course, she was, I don't know, Deadline Magazine, Daily Mail, OK Magazine, One News Page. You know, that's some real off-the-wall mess. Let me see, Radar Online, Metro, and The Mirror. So she has found a sweet spot. And it wasn't because she's done anything extraordinary, but in this very Sussex news period that is very slow, they found something that they could latch on to. Ooh, Megyn Kelly said what? This just goes to show you how slow things are for this news period because they are literally clinging to the words of a woman who couldn't even cut it on Fox News. Do you know what a low bar that is when you're not even suitable for when you're not even suitable for Fox News, that's a low bar. We may have ignored her for too long. She needs some heat. She was mad at Donatella, but still don't like her. Yeah, I mean, Megyn Kelly, she tries to be interesting and provocative, and she tries to be that person. But Megyn Kelly forgot what is that? SP did roast her with her racist remarks about blacks. Yeah, she said something about Santa Claus is white, get over it. Did she say Jesus was white? I know she said Santa Claus was white, get over it. She said she didn't see any reason why you can't wear blackface if it's part of a costume. I mean, she said a lot of dumb stuff, and so finally, she's figured out some kind of way to get noticed. And how did she do it? What was her ticket out of oblivion? And believe me, this is going to be a very short trip. Her way out was Megyn. Oh, if I could just think of something to say about Megyn or the Sussexes, I can get out of this doldrum that I'm in, this neverland that I'm stuck in. If I could just think of something. Megyn Kelly is an idiot. Roland Martin. Oh, Roland Martin had to school her dumb behind on blackface, and she wasn't. And wasn't she the one that says, "Oh, Santa Claus is white," right? We all know Santa Claus is fictional. Absolutely, I believe he was based on a saint from the Eastern Orthodox Church. Was it? At best guess, it was some saint from Turkey. Turkey, if that. So, Marjorie says, "How can South Park be popular when I have never heard of it? Being a TV junkie, I only hear of South Park here on the podcast. Is this some TV show in the US?" Well, it started, I think, on cable TV or maybe I don't know where it started, but okay, let me give you the bit of history of South Park that I know. There was a company that had a Christmas party, and they used these little cutouts and freeze frame photography or whatever to make an animated thing about their coworkers as if they were in high school. Well, anyway, people caught on to that, and the very crude humor and parodies and stuff evolved out of that. And so that's why the characters look so, you know, single dimension, is because they were based on cutouts. And so HBO has picked them up, and they may have some other, but anyway, they do a lot of parodies and such of people like Saturday Night Live or something. Not all of it is funny. Not all of it is in good taste. Most of it is actually pretty tacky. And so, you know, I didn't even, I just as a hunch, because I saw something, I didn't even know that South Park was on the HBO Max. I have HBO Max, and I had to dig for it. And even then, I had to dig through the seasons to find it. I didn't even know that it was on the HBO Max. That's how uninteresting. But when she says the hit show, it's not a big hit. It's not that well known. And I can understand why most people had never heard of it. So, and wait a minute. Wait. And since we're on that subject, most people had never heard of it. Well, why is it South Park is famous today? Hello. This is the only reason why anybody is speaking of South Park, because the most influential, most relevant couple in the world has been lampooned on South Park. And so now people are talking about it. But other than that, they would have remained in obscurity. A little known gimmicky show that most people would not have even spoken about, but for the Sussexes. So it really only reinforces the idea that Meghan and Harry are on track to become billionaires. Their influence sells things, good and bad, but their influence sells. And South Park, and I'm going to tell you something too. It's really interesting that South Park took this long to make a parody about the Sussexes. That's a question that nobody has even asked is what took them so long? Why did they finally get their courage up to even mention the Sussexes? I wonder. Now, there was another royal couple that they did a parody or lampooned years ago, but it just didn't go that far. But thanks to the Sussexes, now we all know about it. So here you have a live look at Megyn Kelly every time a black woman is doing better than her. Rah! Here's a live look at Megyn Kelly. Her eyes are bulging. Her fangs are protruding from her mouth. Her claws are exposed. And such is the reaction of Megyn Kelly anytime she ever sees that there is a black woman doing better than she is. So, and this, as you can see, that illustration was made back in 2015. I mean, this is nothing new for her. That was made back in 2015. 2015. Yeah, she got a big payout. She got a big payout when NBC got rid of her. But even with all that money, as you can see, she's still clout chasing. And trust me, that is a lot of money, but that kind of money goes fast. When she got that money, she probably took out a big mortgage on a property that she won't be able to afford at some point. You see, it's one thing to have that money, but when you do have that money, you have to, maintain. Otherwise, it goes very fast. And I do mean fast. I mean, how much of that comes off the top for her agent? How much of that is lost in taxes? Okay? It doesn't go as far as one might believe. When you make more money, what did Biggie Smalls say? More money, more problems. So she really would rather be on television. But legacy television is a dying breed. So the only thing she has is to try to do a Joe Rogan. And that's not going to work because she's just not that interesting. Rachel's son, you are way ahead of me. I was going to get to that. I don't like that label feminist. Jesus was a white man. Black teen girls attacked by police was no saint either. Pepper spray is a food product, essentially. The gender pay gap is a meme. Those are just some of the clever things that Megyn Kelly has said over the years. Now, Fox's Megyn Kelly got to the top, and why is she probably there to stay? Let me see. Megyn Kelly, Fox News, quickly budding star. Well, remember, she was supposed to be a big deal at Fox News. Megyn Kelly moment, Megyn Kelly, whatever that says, only to find out that she wasn't all that and she didn't survive at Fox News. Now, she was very clever to get over to NBC, and they didn't want her. They were willing to pay out $20 million just to get rid of her. They could have kept her lingering on, but it was worth it to them to pay out her contract just to get her out of the house. Such is the appeal of Megyn Kelly. Such is the appeal of Megyn Kelly. Yeah, I'm going to get to that one too. Okay, so that's that for Megyn Kelly. She couldn't make it at Fox News. She didn't cut it at NBC. So now she's trying to do the live stream podcast thing, and that wasn't working out. And the only way that she has gotten any notice or any traction is because of her seemingly hostile position, allegedly, toward Black women. There's something about Black women, black people that just set her off. And so she has managed to hitch her wagon to the Duchess of Sussex to get noticed. But it's unsustainable. It won't last. This is her 15 minutes within her very long 15 minutes. South Park History of Dragging Royals episode Royal Pudding Spoofed rather. William and Kate, where William was pegging himself as bride-to-be was watching. So South Park, if it's anything like the Simpsons, South Park seemed to be on to something before they even knew it. They didn't even know that they knew it. But somehow the makers of South Park seem to know all about the prince and pegging. They seem to know all about it. What are the chances? Who in production was privy to that information? That the Prince of Wales is truly the Prince of Pegging. Even Rolling Stone said a royal rumor might be inspiring straight men to getting pegged, and that's beautiful. They were not even afraid of William's lawyers to run that story. Did you hear what I said? Is this thing working? They were not even afraid of William's lawyers to run that story. They just put it out there. It was trending like crazy on social media, and it was trending so much it could not have escaped the notice of the Kensington crew. So now everybody's talking about the Prince of Pegging. And they were so sure that this South Park was going to be the big humiliation for the Sussexes. Oh boy, I tell you, they were doing victory laps, smoking cigars, high-fiving each other. And what was the result? It took us right back to the pegging. All roads leads to pegging. All roads leads to pegging. So that's pretty much the only thing that I could think of, that has come out of this, is that it's not costing the Sussexes anything. And this idea that there's no recovery for them is so farcical and so laughable, it doesn't even make sense. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Let us continue here. So, as you can see, South Park History of Dragging the Royals episode, Royal Pudding Spoof, William and Kate, where William was pegging himself as bride-to-be was watching. Well, again, the Daily Mail, who has done nothing but lend protection to the Cambridges as they morphed into the Waleses, the Prince and Princess of Wales, and yet even that cannot protect him from the one news outlet that seems to be nothing but support. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to wager you the people at the Daily Mail was glad that they found some kind of way to say something that could actually not breach the invisible contract, because as shady as those people are, and when they do finally turn on the rest of the family, and they will do that, this is just a warm-up. This is just one of many warm-ups until Lord Nappyhead's paper finally, get some sense in their nappy heads and finally go after the rest of the family. Because if this is any indication of what the future is going to be, it is not going to be any promise that they're going to continue to make money from the Sussexes. At some point, it is going to get old. It's already old. Spare has made it old. The lawsuits that are coming up are going to make it obsolete. It's unsustainable. I mean, even the worst sycophant, the worst royalist, the most dedicated royalists is going to have to ask themselves the question, why are we vetting this American woman of color as though she's running for president? Why are we vetting her like a politician? And so to try to make sense out of it, they even decided to say, oh, Megyn is trying to run for president. Megyn is probably going to run for president. They would love that. They would love that. That would kick off a whole new round of nonsense. But it's getting old. I mean, I just got a feeling that because of Spare, because of the Harry and Meghan docuseries, people just are not as interested. Their sales, even their clicks online, are decreasing by the day. They're not growing a new audience. It may seem like it, but they're not. So, as we're speaking of pegging, did you guys see this? They called it PDA. They called it a very loving moment, but that broad just put her hand on his behind. She literally cupped his butt. I mean, she literally palmed him. And he seems to be rather startled and yet pleased by this. Thank you, Black Queen. There is almost 2,000 people in the live stream. Please make sure you guys hit that like button. And if you are not subscribed, even if you're on television, please step away right now, grab your cell phone, get on your laptop, and hit that subscribe button. I mean, I don't say it too often, but it is very helpful, especially anyone who enjoys a Sussex-friendly platform like mine. And of course, don't forget, at the top of the chat, there is the Lady Sussex, who I cannot wait to get to. Thank you, Black Queen. By the way, you guys, Black Queen is one of our moderators. Let's see, both creepy and nasty since we know how much Billy enjoys that. Diane Hawkins, I know the not socioeconomic, but I know the age of, well, not the exact age, but there's an older audience here. What do you know about butt action? Are you someone's grandma saying butt action? I'm just asking for a friend. Most people on Royal Sussex are about, in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. And I'm just curious to know, is someone's grandma sitting there right now typing butt action in into their electronic device? Just asking for a friend. But woo! Well, I tell you, one thing about Royal Sussex, you just never know, do you? Okay. And so she's wearing these rather bizarre long black gloves with this rather, almost toilet tissue, like it's almost like tissue paper dress. And, and then the big earrings. And then she has that rather weird, goofy look on her face. But I guess if you just palmed your husband's behind, you would have that rather goofy look on your face. Who wouldn't? And then, of course, he doesn't look, he looks like he couldn't be more pleased with himself, having had that happen in front of a area full of people. Well, I mean, she may have stopped over to visit her mom, Sheila Watson. She may have stopped to visit her mom on the way to the Bafta Awards. You never know. You never know. So anyway, they're trying to spin it like it was something adorable and innocent, but I say it is rather weird and bizarre. But, you know, oh, did I just say but? Well, you know, uh, oh man. Well, you know, they grown. They whatever's going on with them, the poker and joker. Church Nelly, what are you doing? Okay. So anyway, I got a little sound bite I want to play for you guys. Let's see how this goes. But yes, I do have a little sound bite I want to play for you. This young lady, well, by the way, take a look at the article. Well, the tweet first. It's true. Tom Cruise, for example, famously never recovered from South Park. Neither did Barbara Streisand or Bono. I'm sorry, Bono. Let me see. And careers just came to a screeching halt as soon as they were mocked, and they were never heard from again. Not. But yeah, as you can see, using a bit of wit and sarcasm, this blue checkmark person, Jan Cheney, has said what a lot of other people have been thinking, and that is, of course, nothing could be further from the truth. This idea that people somehow disappear after they've been mocked by South Park is totally a fallacy. That nothing could be further from the truth. But you know what? They keep trying this narrative, and it's like they are so desperate for anything to make money that they are trying to just. It's like pasta. They want to make sure it's al dente. They're literally taking the pasta, throwing it at the walls, and they want to see if it sticks. So anyway, let me play that sound bite for you guys. This young lady is on TikTok, and she had something to say about Good Morning Britain.
So this is a big deal, isn't it? That they have had the Mickey taken out of them on a massive show like that. It's like when you're in The Simpsons, it's always an accolade. Yeah. When you're in South Park, I'm not sure so much.
No, what this is embarrassing. That's what it is. The fact that you're comparing South Park to The Simpsons to figure out if a person is popular or not, my God, the level of delusion that these people have is. These are the same people that insist that they're tired of hearing about Harry and Meghan and that they just should go away. But no, they're having a roundtable conversation about The Simpsons and South Park.
Okay, one more time, you guys. One more time. I hope everybody was able to hear that.
This is a big deal, isn't it? That they have had the Mickey taken out of them on a massive show like that. It's like when you're in The Simpsons, it's always an accolade. Yeah. When you're in South Park, I'm not sure so much.
No, what this is embarrassing. That's what it is. The fact that you're comparing South Park to The Simpsons to figure out if a person is popular or not, my God, the level of delusion that these people have is. These are the same people that insist that they're tired of hearing about Harry and Meghan and that they just should go away. But no, they're having a roundtable conversation about The Simpsons and South Park.
Okay, well, there you go. Okay, you can hear it. Great. So, the demographic that they're trying to win over, young people, are the ones that are pushing back against the nonsense. It's not working. It's not working. Nobody is interested in Will and Kate. They just don't have it. And as I said yesterday, the stress of this new rollout, you can see it all over her face. You can see it all over her face. She is collapsing before us. She is literally disintegrating before us. This is what happens when you try to outdo the most influential woman in the world. Rachel Meghan Markle Megyn, the Duchess of Sussex, Princess Henry of Wales, or Windsor now, I think. But this is what happens when you try to outdo them. It's not working. She is literally on the verge of collapse. I'm telling you guys, she's not going to be able to sustain this. It's just not working. Oh, there we go. Now, South Park, as I said, South Park, well, here it says South Park kills the Queen. An episode of South Park featuring the Queen, as you can see in print there, I don't want to say it, is provoking outrage. But if the show is famous for anything, is for going too far. If it's famous for anything, it's for going too far. The scene, let me set the scene for you. It was the American Revolution. They sent tall ships over to try to take the United States back. She gets the phone call that it didn't go so well. And then next thing you know, she's a big heap on the floor. That's the South Park that everybody is celebrating for going after the Sussexes. They're celebrating, and I don't think most people know this. Those sycophants they're not even going to look at South Park. They're not going to go and find the episode, but they are celebrating this cartoon that was able to do something as crude and disrespectful to the Queen. And you guys are celebrating because of the Sussexes? Now, I noticed that with all the coverage that has come out about Harry and Meghan, and they even talked about the Prince of Pegging, they've made no mention of that particular episode of South Park in this past week. None at all. They're only talking about this. They're not talking about the scene with the Queen. And let me tell you something else about that. If you thought this was pretty bad and tacky, and I actually saw the little clip where the Queen ended up on the floor. If you thought this was tacky, take a look at this. This is the episode featuring Meghan and Harry. This is the scene of them carrying the Queen into Westminster Abbey. I'm not making this up. This is the episode of South Park. And so if you are a hater, if you are a royal sycophant, if you hate royal Sussex, you hate Harry and Meghan, I want you to know, if you go and find the episode of South Park, this is included in that episode. And there was no mention of this in any of the tabloids. Now, that was pretty tasteless, but you can see that this is the most recent show. There's Camilla and Charles. There's Harry and Meghan all the way there in the back. This is it. This is it. Tacky. So where is the outrage? Where is all the righteous indignation? Bet y'all didn't know I could use that word. Where is all the righteous indignation of them creating this image of the Queen in South Park? You haven't heard a mention of it, but it was there. And so, of course, I wanted to make sure that I told the story as full and complete as possible. This is the other part that nobody mentions. Now, why they have to have the top open, why they have to have her laid out like a crime scene, I don't know. But this is the South Park that all of you royal sycophants are celebrating. Please make sure that you show your outrage and righteous indignation about this. Make sure you take all of the weight of this hostility for the Sussexes and make sure that you tell them a thing or two about depicting the Queen like some type of pretzel. Why not? And of course, And of course, I don't know who posted that image of the Cambridges. Well, the Welleses. But if you notice, I told you that little tick that Kate has brought into the marriage is contagious. Now he's doing it. Now they're both doing it. They don't know what to do with their hands. They don't know what to do with their mouths. They don't know what to do. That tick is contagious. The twitchy eye, the weird mouth askew. Well, he hasn't got the mouth askew yet, but don't know what to do with the hands. It's contagious. He caught that from her. See? He caught that from her. I blame her for that. Next thing you know, he started doing it. It's contagious. Those little ticks are contagious. It's not really germane to the conversation, but I just wanted to be messy. But yeah, so it's not really necessary, but I felt like being too much. But yeah, that little weird tick and such, that is something that but anyway, if you take a look here, I did some research because I was trying to figure out where I could find those gloves. Because you know me, I'm kind of tacky. I wanted to know how much the gloves cost. Because someone on the Twitter said that those gloves look like the kind that you use for birthing a cow. And so I had to go and do some research. And sure enough, I was able to find that they do sell those gloves. So I don't know if there's any other retailer that have them, but I do know that if you go to like one of those, sites for that type of equipment, they do have the chemical resistant kind up there at the top. And if you want something more sheer for that summer look, then they have the actually they have them in just about every color of the rainbow. So if you want to show up for the next award show with that Princess of Wales look, all you have to do is just go to any like farming agricultural supplier and you can find those gloves, and make sure you do your measurements to make sure they fit, but they do have them available. So I'm just saying, if that's what you want. Right here, Perfect Princess Kate wows on Bafta and carpet alongside Prince William as she recycles a white Alexander McQueen gown with 18-pound Zara earrings and black opera gloves. Black opera gloves. If you say so, girl. Anyway, you can see here. So this is supposed to be a message for Megyn, the perfect princess. The perfect princess. Kate, who doesn't even know how to walk or talk, is the perfect princess. I'm outraged by that. I am incensed by their overblown sense of importance for this rather demure, robotic, almost non-existent personality princess. I'm tired of it. I'm just sick of it. Do you hear me? Sick! I'm sick of it. The perfect princess. The perfect princess. Who wears wedgies like those? Though it almost reminds me of Minnie Mouse shoes. You know how Minnie Mouse seemed to have as much shoe behind the ankle as she has in front of the ankle? That's the perfect princess? Really? When did that start? But that is, I guess, if you're going to gaslight, you might as well go for the gold. You know what I mean? If you're going to gaslight people, go for the gold.
Megyn in a Valentino white. compare, I hate to do this, but compare Meghan in a Valentino white, absolutely wowing the crowds, and dear Kate in that very staid 1940s Amelia Wickstead coat.
Oh, you were really winding me up now, yeah.
Well, I knew that would upset you, Richard, because I know you're more of a Middleton kind of girl and you like the sort of twin set and pearls 50s look. But all I'm saying is, who's speaking to the future generations, the younger generations? It's Meghan.
The perfect princess. Well, you know what? If that is the bar, okay, fine. Fine. But if she's going to be the perfect princess, I just wish somebody would teach her how to walk. That little goose step that she's doing is cute on the playground, but take her to a drag show or something. They need to take her. As a matter of fact, make her a judge on the Next Top Model, or what else? RuPaul drag races. Somebody needs to teach this girl how to walk. And if they do, maybe she can convince people that she's the best dressed, the most beautiful, the perfect princess. But first, you have to learn how to walk. That is where they should start. Don't worry about the clothes. Don't worry about the queen's jewelry. Don't worry about any of that stuff. Just teach this child how to walk, and that is where we'll start. The rest of it will fall into place, I promise. But elocution lessons, and also, learn to use proper etiquette and posture and such. And then we'll be off to a start, because right now she's just not cutting it. And I know you would be forgiven to assume that photo on the right is from Madame Tussauds. That's from Boston. Unless they have a Madame Tussauds in Boston, I am reasonably sure that is, that's Kate. That's the real Kate. So right here it says, King Charles evicts Prince Andrew from Buckingham Palace after the situation scandal. That disgraced royal no longer be allowed to have an office in the building or use this address for correspondence, sources claim. Well, he should have seen that coming. It has been saying he wants to slim down the monarchy, right? So that story came out a little while ago. Even the queen was trying to tell him, see you later, alligator. And then, of course, she said, after a while, Andrew. Remember that? See you later, alligator. After a while, Andrew. So, well, today it has come out. Prince Andrew fears Charles is forcing him out of his £30 million Windsor home. Furious Duke of York tells friends his brother is slashing the annual six-figure grant that helps him maintain sprawling royal lodge. Well, time to go and make some new shady friends. It is time to go and make some new shady friends. And trust me, using your position as, the fallen Duke of York, the Duke of York who has been found wanting in his character, you can use your titles privately to raise some money. It's not like you haven't done it before. So either that or send them over to Frogmore. So this is how Frogmore Cottage looked when the Sussexes got there. Frogmore Cottage was a collection of separate units that was made into a cohesive, livable property. So send him over to Frogmore, and at least he's not going over the Frogmore looking like this. You know what I'm saying? Now it looks like a proper home. But when Harry and Meghan were sent over there, all you could hear was frogs. It was mosquitoes and stuff, water all over the place, mud. And but, the Sussex the Sussexes were able to do something with it. So now it looks like somewhat of a home, even though it's kind of like a collection of buildings stuck together. But Frogmore was a real eyesore, so at least he's not going over there like that. So yeah, send him to Frogmore, because pretty soon his daughter's moving to California, if the stories are correct. So send him over to Frogmore. This is Royal Lodge. This is where Andrew is trying to stay. Royal Lodge is huge. That is one of, I mean, look at how big that house is compared to the cars. It's a sprawling estate in Great Windsor Park, and he does not want to leave. So Prince Harry is in a predicament over whether he and Meghan will attend King's coronation, because they fear being accused of snubbing royal family if they stay away, or being booed by public if they attend, friends say. Look at here. Look at him. Look at him. In terms of somebody being booed, how would we know who was being booed? How would we know the difference? How would we know the difference if somebody is being booed, if it was the Sussexes or if it was Charles? It seems to me Charles get enough boos on his own without the Sussexes around. So if you ask me, the idea of somebody being booed, it wouldn't really be clear who exactly the crowd is protesting, because it seems to me like there's enough boos to go around. And if they're not booing them, they're being heckled. If I recall, they're being heckled. So how do we know who's getting it?
Charles, while we struggle to heat our homes, we have to pay for your parade. The taxpayer pays 100 million for you, and what for? Needham Renin, not my king.
You see there? The guy was so upset he yelled Neiman Marcus, which is, you know, that means not my king in Welsh. But how do we know who's actually getting booed? And then Charles made that Charles Nelson Riley face and took off.
Charles, while we struggle to heat our homes, we have to pay for your parade. The taxpayer pays 100 million for you, and what for? Needham Renin, not my king.
So listen to the boos. How do we know who's getting booed? I wouldn't worry about it if I was them. They're trying to create some anticipation that the Sussexes are going to be booed, when the truth is there's enough booing going. Why don't they ask that question about Charles? Fear not, sir, we shall not rest until we have rounded up every chicken in Yorkshire. Wait a minute, Yorkshire. Who's the Duke of York? Who's the Duke of? Oh, never mind. Wonder if somebody paid him. Never mind. I'm just asking for a friend. But yeah, so if I was Charles, I wouldn't let them even put that in the universe, because Charles has had troubles before. Do you remember that night out with Camilla when the car was pelted? When they had so much love and admiration from the hordes of people on the streets of London, as soon as they saw the car coming, they were like, there he is right there. There she blows. And next thing you know, the car was all covered with God knows what. So why? And this was before the Queen died. This was before the Queen died. So if this happened before the Queen died, why are you assuming that the Sussexes are the ones that need to worry? I say nay. They're the ones who ought to worry. what does that say? Variety, Royal Variety Performance 2010. That was back in 2010? You mean to tell me back in 2010 that was happening? By then, that was pretty bad. But today they should be all wound up and hurling whatever. I mean, I hope they don't. I don't want anybody to get hurt. But I'm just saying, you need to worry. Don't worry about the Sussexes. Worry about yourself. I mean, that guy, the Neiman Marcus guy in the crowd right there, he probably got a thing or two to say to you. Whenever he sees you, he going to ask that question again. He is going to ask the question.
And what for? Nedwim Renin, not my king.
Yeah, so that's who you should worry about, the Neiman Marcus guy. And then, of course, the Cambridges. Not everybody is in love with the Cambridges. They've been booed before. You have this kid right here with this sign, the one that they ushered away from the crowd because they didn't want to get anybody else worked up. But he's holding a blank piece of paper and he's letting people know, we don't need a royal family. These are modern times. What do we need you for? So again, why are you trying to put that out there in the universe about the Sussexes when you all are the ones that ought to be afraid? Don't worry about the Sussexes. They're going to be okay. Right? Look at this one right here. Check this out. Well, now, isn't that a coinky-dink? Okay, so I would say that William and Kate have to worry about if some, and there's already people saying that they're going to protest. They're trying to make this about Harry and Meghan so that when it happens, they can blame it on them. But it's not Harry and Meghan, it's you and the side piece and all the rest of them. I mean, look at this. Look at that. Royal poll. Are you ashamed by Prince William being booed by crowds at the FA Cup finals? What kind of question is that? Are you ashamed? No, is he ashamed? Oh, talk about gaslighting. Prince William boos shows the monarchy's days are numbered, says Graham Smith. Finally, somebody got the story right. Or how about this? Now, I made this myself. If you notice, William started to shrink from the hostility. I don't even remember how I did this, but poor William he's feeling so small by the time he left the stadium. He has shrunk down to like a little pocket-sized prince. I mean, just he felt so small. Every step he seemed to get shorter and shorter. He just kind of shrunk. And you know, guys, he was actually crying. He was in tears when he left that stadium. He was in tears. Prince booed, can't wait to go to Buckingham Palace and ask Betty to launch a bullying investigation against the entire Wembley crowd. Or how about this from LBC? Prince William faced boos from thousands of football fans. Isn't he the president of the Football League? Isn't he the royal patron of football? Wait a minute, I just thought about that. Isn't he Mr. Football? And as you can see there, football fans love Harry and Meghan. Duh. So why are y'all trying to put this out in the universe when it's the rest of them that ought to be worried. They're the ones who ought to be worried. Not everybody who shows up is there for the party. Some people are going to disrupt with their plain paper signs. Anger as Liverpool fans, Liverpool Cup final fans boo William. Prince William booed. Yeah, he was. And I almost forgot that one of the players ignored him. One of the players, when he was going down the line, let me see, these players in the background there, it was one or maybe even two of them that ignored him, refused to shake his hand. They refused to shake his hand. I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes. They refused to shake his hand. And there he was, all full of the power and invested and all of the honors and commitments bestowed upon him because he was an accident of birth. And they ignored him. I saw it. They ignored him. Now that was embarrassing. That they should have been embarrassed. Where is that at? Where is it? Right here.
Before we hear the national anthem.
Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see how he stepped to the side? Don't touch me. No, man, I ain't on that. I ain't on that. Look at William's face. Look at William's face. He's so embarrassed. No, man, don't touch me. Don't touch me. And then there's poor William walking out the stadium, feeling lower than the well diggers behind. Poor William. Poor William walked out of that stadium just as small and insignificant. If this is happening now, what's going to happen when you become king? You think people are going to be any more excited to see you? He should be embarrassed. He should be absolutely embarrassed. And they are, you all know that would have never happened to Prince Harry. That would have never happened to Prince Harry, but it happened to William. And thousands of people saw the emperor with no clothes. Thousands of people sat around watching the emperor with no clothes. William, the big man on campus, naked to the world, on the brink of tears as the crowd booed him and the players refused to shake his hand. And they are worried about Harry and Meghan. So cheers for the players and boos for William. How dare they try to humiliate the Sussexes? How dare they? I bet you they didn't anticipate that. I bet you there was no questions prior to this appearance whether or not the Sussexes were going to get booed. And then let's not forget the famous Andrew, you're a sicko man. I'm telling you guys, there is so much more of this coming down the pike. There is so much more of this coming down the pike. You have no idea. There's so much more of it. They want us to believe that this is reserved for the Sussexes, when the truth is, it's the rest of them that need to worry. It's the rest of them that need to worry. Let me see. Where is that at? Oh, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Edinburgh yelled out as loud as he could. That is the very famous location where we heard, Andrew, you're a sick old man. So just to give you a little reference to the geography, the Queen was rolling down the street in her royal state hearse, and the kid on the side saw a group of siblings, an aging group of baby boomers, actually a couple of them pensioners at this point, walking toward him, and he was so overwhelmed with emotion that something welled up inside of him and said, Andrew, you're a sick old man. And then he was plucked from the crowd, thrown to the ground, handcuffed, and as he was carted away, he yelled, disgusting! So Shelly L says, hi, Baron. Did this happen after the Netflix series came out? No, I don't suspect. No, it did not. I forgot when that took place, but it was not after Netflix. I don't think so. So, post Netflix, whatever they've gotten so far is going to be that much worse. But thank you for the super chat, and thank you, Shelly L, for watching Royal Sussex. Disgusting! Boy, I tell you, you could hear that kid all the way down in the ports of Dover, Brighton, all the way over in Cardiff. You can hear them all over the place, all over the Western world. A sound louder than the eruption of Krakatoa. This kid yelling, disgusting. Boy, I tell you, you couldn't make up stuff like that. So, and poor Andrew walking along thinking everybody gonna feel sorry for him because of his mama. No, partner, we got something for you. Disgusting. And of course, Jubilee preparations. Remember, before the Jubilee, there were protests. Before the Jubilee, there were people who wanted to make it a point to remind the royal family that you are harboring and supporting someone that would have to answer questions over in the US, that the FBI really would like to talk to you about a thing or two. But they, downplayed that. And then here you can see Andrew interrupting everybody's Christmas. Does it seem like everybody is smiling, or are they aghast or disappointed to see Andrew walking along with the rest of the family at Christmas? I would say most of them are rather shocked and disappointed. I mean, look at there. This big oddity in an overcoat seems to have upset the apple cart for everybody around. They didn't want to see him. They smiled and everything like, oh, Kate, look at Kate. She's got that stupid hat on. Oh, there's Charles. Oh, Camilla looks like she's got Grover on her head. Oh, Andrew. I mean, they were so disappointed to see him. Oh, well. Well, you guys, I am going to, let me see here. I'm going to take a few looks at your comments here, and then we're going to talk about the president. So if you guys are, if you got to go cook or something like that, or if you need to do anything, we're at the end of the road for today. Thank you all so much for being here. Also, don't forget to go over and check out Lady Sussex. The link is at the top of the chat. Please go over there right now and like and share and subscribe. Anybody who you know that is friendly with the Sussexes, or even if they're not, if you want to bring some more people over to our side, go over to Lady Sussex right now and hit that link at the top of the page there, and then you could go over and you could like and subscribe. I can let me see. Yeah, you can go over and like and subscribe. They'll be glad to have you over there. So, but yeah, I'm pretty much done. Gonna show a few photos of Jimmy Carter since he's been on my mind. But if you got to do something else, now is the time to do it. I'm going to take a look at that link myself here and see what's going on over there. Okay. Yeah. Oh, boy, let me see. You know what? I don't think I put the latest episode on the link. Let me do that while I'm here. I'm going to link you guys to the latest episode. So let me see. This is it. That is from 8 hours ago. Okay, yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over there. I mean, actually, I'm going to come back over here to Royal Sussex, and I am going to put that link for today's Lady Sussex, the one that got Susie Q all worked up. There it is at the top of the chat. So you guys, please go over there, hit the like and subscribe and share that channel. Again, another Sussex-friendly platform. Okay, so yes, thank you so much, Tony Ross. Sorry to keep the rest of you guys up so late that are over in Europe or South Africa or wherever. Sorry to keep you guys up. I know there's some people here from Ghana and a few other places. I'm keeping a lot of people up late tonight. Yeah, I know Compton, Cali got over 2,000 people in the chat today. That was an accomplishment. I'm happy. I like it. Also, and thank you guys for your generous donations to Royal Sussex. Thank you for the new membership we got earlier. Thank you to the moderators for keeping this a very safe space. Even in the comments after the show, you guys always keep this a safe space. Let's see. Shelly L., you joined us late today, didn't you? But better late than never. You could always go back and rewatch the first part. Hey, Shay. Thanks again, Baron, for another great podcast. Need to get to bed for work later. Stay safe and well. Live. You're in the Philippines. Very cool. Thank you for being here. All right. Thank you. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry for the hour. Yes. Pray for Nigeria. I know they're having like a crisis with their currency, right? Didn't I see something about that? They're having a crisis with their currency. That's never good. It's not good for people to be insecure about their finances. That is never a good feeling. As much as we hate to admit that these things are very important, but yeah, it's never more important than when you find out that there's problems. So, yeah, pray for Nigeria. Let me see here. Let me see here. Oh, you're gonna okay, yeah, I'm gonna watch that. Tomorrow I gotta go and do my emissions standard testing, so I may start very late tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes. I had so much to cover today, so that's why it took so long to prep for today. But yeah, you guys that need to get your rest, go ahead and get your rest. We are done for today. Just looking at some last comments before I go. Iris Wood, Baron, you do make us laugh. Where you were all this? Oh, where were you all this time? Well, I mean, by the time I started this channel, which, by the way, you guys, April 15th will be 2 years since I sat down and got serious about Royal Sussex. As a matter of fact, I changed the name of the channel from what it was before. Before it was like only a handful of subscribers. But April the 15th, 2021, I said, you know what? I am going to get serious about Royal Sussex. And that's exactly what happened. And since then, there has been about 860 videos. 860 videos. It may actually, I don't know how many it is now, but yeah, it's been fun. It has been fun, and looking forward to the rest of 2023. But yeah, you guys that need to get your rest on, go ahead. Don't stay up too late. Wow. Oh, wow. I was absolutely right. 860 videos. Exactly 860. Can you believe that? I don't even know when 860 videos happened. That is a lot of work. 860 videos. I have little or no recollection of most of them. If I go back and look at some, I'd be like, I said that? Let me see. FK24, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching. Royal Sussex, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Happy Sunday to you. Or Monday if you're in another time zone, but I think it's Sunday for you. Okay. Oh, Egyptian Lotus, you're quite welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Kids Endor says, got one of them tested positive for the big C, which we don't understand. He doesn't go out, and we are always masked. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sorry. Excuse me. But, you know, sometimes when I'm out, I try to make sure that I make no contact with my face or mouth or anything like that. But I tell you, I have to make sure when I come in the house that I wash my hands. Anytime I come in the house, I still observe that policy. Always wash my hands when I come in the house, and that is very important. And I think a couple times I walked in and I started opening mail or something like that, and I rubbed either my nose or the corner of my eye, and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to wash my hands. I mean, in an instant, I realized I have not washed my hands. So, you know, all of those things are good practice, but still stuff can and will happen. So, I still wear my mask in the supermarket, any place indoors and stuff like that. I still wear my mask. On occasion, if I eat at a restaurant, of course, I have to take my mask off to eat. But by and large, I still wear the mask. Oh, there's the wish list. Let me see. But before I do that, I think Church Nelly had. Let me go back and look for that. Church Nelly, you had somebody's thing up there, and I don't remember who it was. But I'm looking for it. Oh, there it is. Oh, can I find it on the other page though? That is where I got to do it. Okay. Wait, I got it. So this is who is this? Oh, did they have a thing today? Pomace? Anyway, that's another channel at the top of the chat. Pomace. Mama say, Mama Saba Mambusa. 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 Help me say, Mama say, Mama Saba Mambusa. Say you want to be starting something, you got to be starting something. Mama say, Mama Saba Mambusa. Oh man. Let me see here. Oh, Shelly L says, I started late because I took my dog to the dog beach. We hung out and watched the parasailers. Wow, that must be nice. You're in California, right? I think I've heard you say that before. You know, I think about the Golden State, and it's so expensive out there. But it would be nice to be there. I went to Venice Beach. I think it was back in 2019, and I stayed right there by the beach. Um, and it was so beautiful. I mean, I could look out the window and there was the ocean. And I thought, wow, just think some people get to have this every day. And that was the first time I had ever seen a California sunset, which changed my life. I had been told, I don't know how many years earlier, if you ever get a chance to see a California sunset, don't pass it up. And it did not disappoint. I love the way everybody at the beach just had that look toward the horizon, and everybody started moving toward the beach because everybody wanted to see it. So that was amazing. I'll never forget that. Thank you so much, Shelly L, and thank you for the super chat. And yeah, if you guys ever get a chance to see a California sunset, it does not disappoint. Okay, let me see here. So, Jimmy Carter, this is Jimmy Carter when he entered the Navy. Good looking guy, huh? Good looking guy. And amazing hair, I might add. Look at that hair. And then he met Rosalind. They fell in love. He proposed, and she said, nope. He proposed again. And she said, He proposed one more time. And then finally, she said, but the reason why she turned him down is because she promised her father that she would finish college. And good thing for him that he said, or that she said yes, because she turned out to be quite a force in his life. I mean, just Rosalind Carter, one thing I've always loved about her is that she was not a shrinking violet, a shrinking rose, shrinking violet. And even today, she is just as strong and very much her own person, in spite of the fact that she's been married to him over 75 years. She is still her own person. And I love that about her. She's, and you know what else? You almost forget how beautiful she was back in those days. I mean, look at her. She was absolutely gorgeous. Well, I mean, of course, she's beautiful now, but I'm just saying, she's gorgeous. They make a very handsome couple. Look at there. What a glamour girl. You almost forget. Thank you, B10. Me too. Oh, you live, do you live by Venice Beach or you just been there before? Either way, it is a gorgeous place. I loved it there. I thought to myself, I'm like, I could live here at Venice Beach. I could be here. This would suit me just fine. Oh, I would love to be there. And of course, Jimmy Carter, a man of prayer, a man of ethics, of morality. And still, he admits himself that he's not always the nicest person. He said even his wife could tell you that, but by and large, he's wonderful. Shelly L, I'm in Long Beach. As a matter of fact, Snoop was in concert yesterday over here at the Cali Vibe? Really? Long Beach. Now, I know someone from Long Beach, actually. And Shelly, I don't know if I ever told you this, but the ending scene of the Mad, what is it? It's the Mad World. They filmed part of that in Long Beach. Nice community, I hear. Good for you. Gosh, you're so lucky to be there. That is wonderful. I am jealous. Oh, I love him. B10. I've always said that out of all the presidents, I find him I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I find him to be the most honest of all the presidents that we've ever had. It doesn't mean that I like one over the other, but he's just such a man of integrity. And I remember him from when I was a youngin', and I just remembered how special the Carters were. And so this is the last of my Carter photos for now. Just want you guys to know that whatever is happening at the Carter household, they have each other. And Jimmy Carter decided to make a very dignified and fuss-free exit from this world. He's 98 years old, the longest surviving president of the United States. And the world is a much better place because of James Earl Carter. Of that, I could assure you. So please continue to pray for both of them, pray for the family, and let's hope it is a very peaceful and uneventful transition. All right, you guys. So with that, I'm going to look for the last word of the day, which is Judge Nelly. I'm never sure, but you said phone is at 55%. Is that code, or is there something else going on? Let me see. Let me see. Amy went to DC public school. I think I remember that. That they had put Amy in public school. I think I remember that because I think there was this big fuss about the fact that she was the first modern presidential child to go to public school. Yeah, the past couple of days, all kind of memories have been flooding back. I bet you Willie wishes he had hair like President Carter. Oh, yeah, President Carter with that amazing mane that he has. I mean, look at there. He still has that beautiful hair. Let me see. Classy. Oh, wait a minute. Where are you? There we go. Classy LaCroix says, love President Carter. God bless him. Oh, thank you so much for that. Yeah, President Carter is transitioning. I tell you, my insides just kind of fell when I heard them say hospice. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I just wasn't ready to hear that about him. But and like I say, at a certain age, we all know what that means. They don't even have to explain it if you've ever been through that. So, oh man. Okay, that's what I thought. I kind of remembered that from back in the day. Let me see here. Marsha says, Jimmy and Rosalind have the greatest love story. They were always together, Harry and Meghan, and their love story is like the Carters. Great. Yeah, I remember Rosalind Carter used to sit in at the cabinet meetings, and that was another thing that caused a bit of fuss, was that he had her sit in at the cabinet meetings, and they're just like, well, what is she here for? I mean, some of you guys that have not followed the Carters or haven't followed politics or whatever, she was for the short time that she was in the White House, she was every bit as powerful, I would say, as a Eleanor Roosevelt. Now, of course, no first lady could ever beat Eleanor Roosevelt, because Eleanor Roosevelt did some extraordinary things. And of course, being in a setting like that at wartime and everything, it made that possible. But Eleanor Roosevelt, she has to rank as the longest serving, number one, first lady, and I would say the most powerful of all the first ladies, past, present, and future. As a matter of fact, even after she left the White House, she still held a great deal of authority. People looked up to her. Regardless of party, everybody looked up to Eleanor Roosevelt. And so, yeah, the Dems have had some amazing first ladies: Eleanor Roosevelt, Jackie Kennedy, Rosalind, Hillary, Michelle, and now we have Jill. I mean, we've been lucky. We've had some powerhouses for first ladies. Ooh, yes. Don't you just love Sharian? Don't you just love Sharian? Sharian is handling her business. Every time I look at Sharian Sade, the first thing that comes to mind for me is, look at Sharian handling her business. She handles her business. Professional, great conversation, and of course, the format of the show is second to none. I have to say, Sharian, when it comes to the format, absolutely the best. I would say that if we were keeping scorecards, I would have to concede that she has everything covered. She would win every category. If it was, if it was consistent in everything, the layout, the style, the conversation, research, she's good. She's amazing. I'm always in awe of Sharian. I'm like, look at Sharian handling her business. She handling her business. Let's see. Karen Damara says Megyn Kelly is relevant and hence trying to be back and thinks by attacking a fellow woman would help boils down to racism. And hope she keeps. Yeah, and it just confirms how relevant the Sussexes are. It's really a confirmation of how relevant the Sussexes are. And yes, you know what? As I look at this photo, this does remind me of Harry and Meghan. It really does. But the connection, it does remind me of the Sussexes very much. Yeah, I see that. I see that energy. I definitely see that energy. And that's a good thing. All right. Okay, you guys. Okay, yeah, let's not forget a shout out to Lauren Brown's podcast. I haven't seen the last one, though. I got to make sure I go over and watch. Let me see. What's that, Mary H? Eleanor Roosevelt was a wonderful lady. Didn't she help with blacks in the blacks in the military? And gosh, it was quite a few things Eleanor Roosevelt managed to do during that time. She had a good friendship with Mary McLeod Bethune, among others, and she was fearless. She was fearless. There were times when they told Eleanor that they could not ensure her safety after the White House, and she just didn't care. She was fearless. Yes, I love Anita. I mean, we're very blessed with a lot of good content creators. I just hope that the amount of people that we're able to bring over to the. Oh, did I do that? Or did I not? Okay. I thought I just put that up there, but there's Anita, my Duke, and I. Yeah, if you guys can bring some more of those up, I will pin them. And for those of you guys new to the Sussex Squad, don't forget to go to the links that we're sharing so that you can find some other Sussex-friendly platforms. Anita of My Duke and I actually had a chance to see Megyn face to face, and Megyn smiled at her. If you, oh my goodness, that video of Anita with that meeting with Megyn was adorable. Yeah, so we are very lucky. So we have Anita, My Duke and I, Lauren Brown, Sharian. I know I'm going to forget somebody. Hello, Ivy here. Sussex Global UK. Oh boy. And now I'm going south. I can't remember. Oh, and Anne, Duchess of Success. And Facts and 2 Cents, the prosecutor. How could I forget the prosecutor? Okay, you guys, I'm probably getting a little tired. I should get off of here. Because I'm wait, Anita was on.
A piece of land that I have worked so hard to obtain, and I'm just happy, anxious, everything.
Okay, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but that was Anita that you just heard, My Duke and I. How wonderful. She's in a tropical paradise. She's in a tropical paradise right now. She came on, 26 minutes ago. Isn't that amazing? I'm seeing B10 Pow over there 25 minutes ago, and yet B10 Pow is here right now. Oh, wow. B10, there's somebody else with this. Church Nelly is over there. How could Church Nelly be over there and over here at the same time? How is that possible, Church Nelly? How is that possible? What am I trying to say? Moderator, manager. How could you be over there and over here at the same time? How is that possible? Okay, I'm gonna. That's Facts and 2 Cents. I just pegged at the top of the chat. Time travelers. I see that. How can people be on 2 channels at the same time? We multitask. Oh, apparently. Oh, yeah. Well, don't spoil it. I'm going to have to go over there and see it for myself. Okay, you guys. I'm going to get going because I want to catch up with a couple of other channels while I make my very late dinner at this point. Oh, you're doing like that Zoom call? Okay. All right. I hear you. Okay, so let me see. Oh, you have a phone and a computer. Okay. Well, I'm on my big PC, which has a 27-inch screen. I think it's 27 inches. And so I got all kind of screen. I can have several things up at the same time. I love this computer. I bought it in 2016. My little computer, I'm going to trade in my little computer and get another laptop because that screen is, my sight ain't what it used to be. So that little screen just won't do. So I just need to get the courage up to do it. But I'm going to trade in the little one and get a bigger one that, can help me because the software on the big one, even though it works very well, but the software for the videos, for the editing, the movies ain't what it used to be. So that's why I don't do so many of them. But once I get the other computer, I'm going to do some more pre-recorded videos, which is like my favorite thing to do. I have you up on my... Oh, you have, oh, that's your television though. I'm talking about my computer screen on my desktop. But an 85-inch screen, you could sit across the street and watch that. That is huge. That's got to take up most of the wall. That is impressive. That is impressive. Now, if I could hook up my computer to the television, we'd be in business. But yeah, that is very cool. Wow, you live in Long Beach. You got an 85-inch television. What's next? Well, did I hear somebody won the lottery out in Long Beach? Is that what's going on here? Anyway, thank you again for the super chat. All right, I am going to, let me see, last word of the day. Mo Shannon says, love the Carters. Perfect, that's it. Love the Carters. That's our last word of the day. And now I am going to Ginger Avenge. And we'll do Madam Duchess, and I will see you guys tomorrow. As per usual, thank you to our queens for making this amazing, influential couple possible that are destined to change the world as we know it. And of course, if we, the Sussex Squad, have anything to do with it, then that's exactly what's going to happen. Ooh, there you go. Now, that's handy. That's handy. Now, you got to convince him to go and get a job with the airlines. I would do anything for some flight benefits. Oh, man, that must be nice to be able to, especially if you're a registered companion. You could literally travel the world. I would probably stay away for like a year. If I was a registered companion, I would stay away for a year. I would be like, okay, I'm going to get some cigarettes. I'll be back in a minute. And then a year later, I would show up. And of course, it wouldn't take but about 10 minutes for somebody to say, well, wait a minute, he doesn't smoke. Wait, I didn't know he smokes. You know, Bev Smith, I'm going to try that. I am going to try that. I'm going to try that. I'll see if I can make that work. I don't know. I think my television is 55 inches. It's either 50 or 55. But I'll see if I can make that work. I do have an HDMI cable. I'll do that. Thank you so much for that suggestion. Okay, see you guys. I can't believe it was over 2,000 people in here today. Wow, that's about I don't think it's quite a record. I think the record was what, 2,600? Or was it 3,000? Something like that. But that was after they thought I was Meghan Markle that time. We had a pretty big day. But okay. All right. All right, we're good. We're good. Okay. Q Ginger Avenger. I will see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. Don't forget to pray for the Katas. And Q Ginger Avenger. I said Q Ginger Avenger. Go, Ginge. There we go. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Have a good night and see you all tomorrow.